So what we're going to do in today's tutorial is to set up our Node application running on our DigitalOcean server. But as we saw from yesterday, if we just use a simple Node command to run it, we run into a problem that as soon as we've cancelled our SSH connection or we've killed the terminal that the Node app is running on, then we get a problem where the Node app is no longer running and can't be accessed on the server. So we're going to use a tool to make sure that the Node app keeps on running even when we've left the server via our SSH connection. And we're going to do that using a tool called PM2. I think the PM is process management. So this is a fairly popular tool that's available just on a simple Node install. So what we're going to do is first of all install this and then I'll show you how to get it up and running, and especially when we provide the environment variables to it as well to make sure that we can connect to our database as well. So we just install it with npm, so we say npm install global and the package is just called PM2. So if we go ahead and install that now, just give it a few seconds to get the files and install it. Okay, and once it's installed, just to run it, we just say PM2. As you can see from the output, you just need to make sure you provide the command that you want to run and any options too. So if we just say PM2 list, what this will do is it will show any processes that are already running under PM2. So when we've got our app up and running, it will appear in this list and you get a bit of information about it as well, such as how much CPU and memory time it's taking. And if we give our process a name as well, it will appear in this name column too. So let's go ahead and get our API set up and running using PM2. And I'm going to start off by providing the environment variable for our database connection, much in the same way that we did in yesterday's tutorial. So we'll say database connection string is equal to, and then I'm just going to paste in that MongoDB connection string so that our app can connect successfully to the database. And then after that, we need to just run PM2, and then we're going to run the start command. And then all we need to do is give it the path of where the file is that we want to run. So it's probably best to give a specific path here, just in case you're running this command from a different part of the terminal. But if we just say home, and then it's the rick and roll user, and then we want to run inside of the rick, oh no, wait a second, it's apps, and then it's rick and roll.me, and then we've got our rick and roll me folder, and then finally we've got the main.js file. So that is the full location of the script. You can specify any path you like, and if your app is in a different location, then that's fine as well. Just make sure you've got the full path to where the Node script is that you want to run. Okay, and then we've got a couple of things here. We can provide a name as well. So let's just call it rick and roll, and just say API, just because this is the app that is serving the request for the API. We might have another one that's running in the background just to differentiate it. And then we can also pass in the watch argument as well, so that PM2 will kind of watch this for any changes, which will be really useful when we're deploying new changes. So anything that we deploy from our GitHub pipeline will update the main.js file, and PM2 will watch for changes and restart the process when we push those changes. So let's just set that up and running to start off with, and you can see we get an output there to show that it's been done. And it's probably worth just doing a PM2 list again, just to see if there's any failures, because if there is any problems, you'll see a different status. The process will still be listed in the table, but you'll get an errored status or a crashed status inside of the table. So if you say PM2 list again, you can see after a few seconds we're still up and running, so we can safely say that the process is available to us. And PM2 will do the job of keeping an eye on any changes. So as we did yesterday, if we just go back to Postman and make a request, we should find that we get a response back with all of the information from the short URL endpoint. And then if you just go all the way back over to the server again, and there's no running terminal at the moment, which is a bit different from yesterday, which is the whole point of PM2. But if we exit the SSH connection, we're back on the local terminal. We're no longer connected to the server and we've got no control over the node process, but PM2 will keep it alive and keep it running for us. So if we go here and hit send again, we should find we're still able to send requests, and they're picked up by the Express app and served back a response. So that's a big difference from yesterday's setup. We've now got a process, a node app that's running and is being monitored by PM2 as well. So we're in a position now where we can safely leave our server alone, push changes to the API as well, and they will automatically update, and then we can still come in here and actually use the app as well. So there you go, there's just a quick introduction to PM2 and using it to keep your Node app alive. That's it for this tutorial. Make sure you stay tuned for more web dev tips.